sausages and ketchup. Hey there, y'all. Does anybody else's brain hurt at the thought of getting their weekly shopping done? I know mine does. That's why this week on Wanda's Closet, me and Cheryl decided to redefine the term retail therapy. Hey, Cheryl, clean up on aisle 6. How do you feel about that? Attention shoppers, and welcome to another episode of Wanda's Closet. I'm that blazing blue light special, Wanda McNash. As always, I'm joined by the dear to these set of headlights, my best friend Cheryl. Say hey, Cheryl. Okay, no. Well, y'all, it's official. Summer's here, and you know what, Cheryl? This time of year is probably my least favorite time of year. You know why? I don't know where y'all are from, but if you live in the Midwest, this time of year can be brutal. Some days I start the morning out in a nice light blazer, and by the end of the day, I gotta put on a much thicker, warmer blazer, y'all. Do you know how many trips to the laundry room I gotta make every week, Cheryl? No wonder I'm starting to get these huge guns, y'all. But you know what, y'all? Lugging baskets of blazers ain't the only thing that drives me bananas this time of year. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but it seems like if we get one nice day and a string of 10, people start losing what's left of their dang minds, y'all. I think everybody's just starting to shake off what's left of their seasonal depression, and in my opinion, everywhere I go is just way too people-y for my personal taste, y'all. Cheryl, you know I love everybody, but Jesus Christ, do I hate people. Go on! Not that I don't know the feeling, y'all. As y'all can see, as soon as it went above 40 degrees, I got a little stir-crazy, had my gay guy put in a couple highlights. Well, Cheryl, you know how I get stuck watching a certain show, y'all. Well, I got stuck watching Queer Eye and felt inspired to give myself a glow pop. My gay guy that does my hair, he's quite the talker. Well, one thing led to another. He's going on about something I wasn't really paying attention. I ended up falling asleep under the hood dryer, y'all. When I got up and looked in the mirror, y'all, looked like Marsha freaking Brady. As if I don't have enough to do as it is already, I guess now I gotta go out and catch myself a new gay guy and make him play with my hair again. Do you have any traps, Cheryl? I don't like the conditioner you used either. You could trap them in the closet. And I have a show to host, y'all. What are we talking about today, Cheryl? This week's episode of Wanda's Closet is one I'm very passionate about, y'all. There's a few things that I'm quite certain none of y'all know about me. For instance, I do have legs. Or you may not know that I collect angels. Or it may be news to y'all that I'm terrified of babies. But none of that has anything to do with what we're here to talk about today. No, this is something that nobody knows about me. Not even Cheryl. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course Cheryl knows, y'all. But Cheryl hasn't blinked in 4 years. No one knows why. But I feel that there's no better time than now to face the Muzak and share my secret with the entire world, y'all. I, Wanda Elaine Gloria Estefan McNash, was formerly a retail sales associate, y'all. Excuse me. Pains me to even bring it up, y'all. It was a super dark time in my life. I was unhappy. All the time. All the time. Come home tired as a basset hound. Do you know what it's like to have to stand on cement floors for 9, sometimes 12 hours a day, y'all? There ain't a pair of Skechers in the world. Do you know what it looks like having to walk on the ball of one foot and the heel of the other, y'all? Although it did work to my advantage sometimes. I scared the shit out of a ton of babies that way, y'all. Serves them right. And in most cases for retail workers, especially the ones that try to find things to be passionate about in their job, the ones that like to leave little sparkles and embellishments on things because things are much better when they sparkle. They work themselves to the bone just to get strung along by some manipulative higher-up with a hidden agenda. You know, those people. Yep, it took years and years of some very daunting therapy of my very own. You know, I had to overcome more leaps and bounds in a Target full of white ladies on Black Friday, y'all. I'm not joking, Cheryl. Cost me hundreds and thousands of dollars. I had one guy kept calling me up, asking me if I wanted to lower my interest rate. I told him, honey, my interest couldn't be any lower than it is right now. And I just hung up on him. Poor guy. Well, thankfully, y'all, I found the fluorescent overhead lights and I found Jesus. Home Goods, of all places. On clearance for $6. Can you believe that, Cheryl? I know, I put him in the bathroom to encourage you to have a spiritual movement, y'all. Ain't that cute? But my days of servicing customers are well behind me, and thanks to some heavy prayer, healthy creative outlet malls, and some of Cheryl's gummies, I was finally able to recirculate back into the retail space almost as if nothing ever happened, y'all. I hardly have any more meltdowns. I simply don't have the energy to, y'all. Cheryl's gummies could send Mr. Ed to Mr. Bed. And I can honestly say, I'm happy. Y'all. On the other side of my heavenly miracle, y'all, through years of study, my razor-sharp observational skills, and the support of an amazing close mentor, I, Wanda Elaine John Cena McNash, have harnessed the brain powers to become an expert on all things retail-related, both on my side of the counter and yours, and boy do I got plenty of professional opinions, y'all. So sign in and take a seat in the waiting room because it's time to take your visit from Dr. W, Retail Therapist. So I'm going to start out by discussing one of the rarer entries into our Retail Medical Digest, y'all. Now, Cheryl and I can both speak from experience because we have both suffered from this ailment, right, Cheryl? A disease most commonly referred to as dissociative associate disorder, y'all, or DAD, in layman's terms. Now, if y'all suffer from DAD, some of the warning signs may include a line of 6 or more people, 2 or more cashiers, and no manager to be found. Now, this disease is so serious because it not only affects the customers, but it also affects the checkout clerks, is right, too, y'all. Right, Cheryl? Huh? Cheryl, feel free to contribute at any time. I know my arms are gigantic, but carrying all this weight gets real heavy, y'all. Now, where were we? Cashiers may exhibit signs of giggling, silliness, showboating, overly praising one another, overly sharing frustrations about their job in a very audible tone, lack of ability to stop fucking around and pick up the pace a bit. Don't waste my time. Customers may exhibit feelings of emptiness, dizziness, pain in the back or arms from standing there holding too many damn items for long periods of time, thoughts of wanting to harm yourself or others, or actually harming yourself or others. Y'all need to calm down. That was the chair. Cheryl. Now, if I may, I'd like to speak from an excerpt from my entire life, y'all. So, y'all, I'm standing up at the cash wrap, and you got Sonny and Cher up there just doing a bit. Meanwhile, I'm standing in a line, 12 customers deep. Then all of a sudden I look up, you got Sonny Bono up there rummaging through the largest box of plastic hangers that I have ever seen, y'all. They're just laughing and carrying on. I thought, this isn't pleasant, y'all. None of us are having a good time. Then I heard one of them say they haven't seen the manager for a while. I thought, that big old box of coat hangers that you keep digging through up there, that doesn't make you look busy. No, makes you look real unbusy, which stems from the Latin term for not busy. Them hangers will be fine. I'm not having a good time. One of the more serious symptoms, though, is the fact that the manager's God knows where. And if you need him, why in God's name are you standing there? Go find him. Or better yet, get on the loudspeaker call for him. You know what? Don't do that. Chances are if they suffer from dissociative associate disorder, they also probably suffer from another disease. I'm not sure what the Scientology term for it is, but it's basically when they scream into the microphone. Check your volume and your tone. I startle easily. Y'all, this whole store is full of gals my age. You keep that shit up, you're gonna need a manager and a mop. Buckets of piss. Have you ever been to Golden Corral, Cheryl? That place always smells like cat pee to me. I hate that place. Except karaoke night. I do like karaoke night, y'all. Remember that time we went to that store where we had to rummage through all those bins? People were stuck in there for hours, no bathroom. I saw one little child just shitting in one of the buckets. Just shitting. Friday's reset day, though, so they got all new deals and savings on Fridays, y'all. So as far as dissociative associate disorder, or DAD, is concerned, I could recommend several treatments for this condition, but none are more effective than mindless breathing exercises, y'all. So eyeball me, people. Take a long, deep breath in, and we're going to let out a big, dramatic sigh, okay? But before we do that, let's make sure that we're shifting our weight from one hip to the other, any hip of your choosing. Y'all. And then we're going to roll our eyes at the same time. So it's going to look like this. See? Don't that feel better already? Practice it a few times. Make sure you master it before you take it out and spin, y'all. You want to make sure that you're prepared at any time. Now, I really don't like the term rolling your eyes. I feel that it gives it a negative connotation. And so I want to be sensitive to the younger generations, Gen Z. So we're going to use the term lowering our face, y'all. Now, another technique that me and Cheryl like to use is to search the line for another frustrated customer, or as I like to call them, frustomers, y'all. So just scan the line for somebody to make eye contact with and just make an expressive face at them. So something like this. And, you know, if you get comfortable doing that, you could even throw in like a hand gesticulation with it, like... Well, that's pretty much all I got to cover for dissociative associate disorder. Do you have anything to add, Cheryl? No? I don't think so. You know what? That's why I think it's so important to spread awareness about these super serious syndromes. Right, Cheryl? I mean, you could be suffering from them and not even know it. Right, Cheryl? So look, I know y'all are up there doing your best to have a good time behind the counter, but might I remind you, y'all are at work, and you're not allowed to have a good time. Retail is all about teamwork, and teamwork also means not having a good time. Any decent general store manager will tell you that. Right, Cheryl? Cheryl, did you know that some retailers not only do everything they can to make sure their employees aren't having a good time at work, but they also go above and beyond by paying their employees so little that it ensures that they won't be able to have a good time outside their jobs either? Not in my Salvation Army. Now drop a gimme 20% off, y'all. I love a deal. In summary, the most effective treatments for dissociative associate disorder are going to be mindless breathing exercises and making a personal connection with someone. The next condition that we'll be covering today is common sensory deprivation. Now, studies show that 11 out of every 10 people suffer from CSD within 3 minutes of entering a retail environment, y'all. Researchers, medical experts, and also myself describe common sensory deprivation as a mental smartness impairment that occurs from the immediate exposure to deals and savings, y'all. Now, this is super neat, Cheryl. There have been studies that take a group of individuals and set each person down for a conversation with a partner. Well, in the experiment, the researchers put a clearance sign visible to one of the test subjects, but not to the other. Well, Cheryl, would you believe that a whopping 78% of the guinea people who could see the clearance signs couldn't remember virtually any of the details of the conversation they had with the person sitting in front of them, y'all, on account of the deals and savings? If you're diagnosed with common sensory deprivation, you may experience symptoms including but not limited to not understanding words written on stuff, like signage, sales tags, and store policies, not knowing where you are, or showing signs of becoming spatially unaware, incontinent, blurred or loss of vision, incompetent. You may experience confusion. In some cases, people with the illness reported behaviors such as taking a shopping cart that didn't belong to them, or even losing their children. Doesn't sound like a problem to me, Cheryl. I hate kids. I hate them. The symptoms of common sensory deprivation can be very overwhelming, y'all. I know that sometimes when I'm doing my shopping alone, there are times that I don't even know who the employees and who the customers are, y'all. The other day, I walked up to some lady, asked her where the men's razors were. She goes, "How the hell should I know? I don't work here." I thought, what a bitch. Now, me and Cheryl have come up with a few exercises that I find can really help minimizing people who exhibit signs of symptoms, y'all. So the best way to avoid situations like this is to get in the habit of always doing your run-in with what I like to call your purchase partner, y'all. Just remember to take a PP before you travel. It simplifies it, it's cute, it's catchy, and I find it's super easy to remember that way. Right, Cheryl? Now, I have the distinct honor of having a PP like Cheryl, who's about 13 feet tall and she knows how to get her done. So some of y'all can imagine, before I even think about entering a store, I have the confidence and reassurance of taking the largest, most productive PP imaginable, y'all. Well, and since Cheryl's so dang tall, she's a real whiz with grabbing stuff on how-to-reach shelves, y'all. I mean, just picks it like an apple. Now, if y'all are lucky enough to have a purchase partner, you may find that you now have the attention span to realize that there are gigantic signs hanging above every aisle that indicate the merchandise located within it, y'all. Ain't that cute, y'all? It's like little road signs, like Ketchup Avenue, or Brown Sugar Boulevard, or Canned Meat Street. Another treatment we'd like to recommend for this condition is to avoid the usage of electronic devices, y'all. We find that the use of electronic devices create distractions in the form of loud, grating conversations that often include cackling, oversharing, and asking the same questions over and over and over again, and also being in my way. Now, Cheryl, one of the symptoms that I don't see any of my peers talking about is the fact that it doesn't matter what store I go into, I can never remember where I parked the dang Wanda wagon, y'all. The other day, not only did I try to get into a car that didn't belong to me, but a few hours later I did it again, except this time there was a person sitting in it, y'all. So the best way to avoid common sensory deprivation is to always take a PP before you travel and to avoid the usage of electronic devices. Now, the last entry into our Retail Medical Digest is thankfully one of the rarer entries. I believe the Scientology term for it is incessant compulsive conversation disorder. Y'all might not have heard of this disorder because it is most often referred to as jibba-jabba disease. Now, the disease was named after the Scientologist that first discovered it, Dr. Gabby Jibba Jabba. She's Russian. Jibba jabba disease is a disease that can affect cashiers, clerks, or anyone involved with the sales process, y'all. But whatever you want to call them, if the person taking your money feels the need to strike up a conversation and give commentary on every single item in your order, then you know they suffer from jibba jabba disease. Now, nobody actually knows why this disease can affect certain cashiers. We've hypocratized a few theories of our own, haven't we, Cheryl? Some Scientologists believe that this is an expectation enforced by corporate. Some believe that these people are just way too happy to be at the party. As far as me and Cheryl's theories are concerned, they're all AI people. You know, Google people. You can tell, just by the looks on some of their faces. It's like somebody just uploaded them to the register and there they were. I'm telling you, Cheryl, they walk among us. Well, if it isn't that, there's only one other thing it could be. Drugs. All drugs. All drug related. Probably all the worst kind. Probably just got done whipping the snappers or baking the snickerdoodles or whatever the hell they're doing these days. They didn't cover drugs when I got my doctor's diploma online, y'all. So if it is drugs, it's never too late. It's like I always say, never too late. But y'all, I try to remind myself that nobody's ever too far gone. And that's when I know it's time to administer the word of the Lord. So, you know what? I grab these babies, go around to different churches and steal them and throw them in my purse. So whenever I have that one cashier that won't just shut the fuck up, throw them one of these babies. And I look them dead in the eye and I say, have you chosen and accepted Jesus H. Christ as your personal savior, y'all? And it shuts them right up. And shuts them right on down. Fast as you can say amen, y'all. Sure, y'all know which cashier I'm talking about, too. You know the one with the purple mohawk going from ear to ear. I mean, I don't judge people, Cheryl, to each, but that just looks so dumb. Give her a clipboard and a flashlight. She look like the Liberty Mutual statue, y'all. Doesn't matter what you're buying either. That checker will stand there and say something about every single thing in your order, y'all. What if you're buying something embarrassing? Like fat-free ranch or big old tub of Kentucky jelly? Oh, how nice. Ain't that cute? What's this for? Well, Echo, or whatever the hell your name is, it's lube. I know it says jelly on it, but it sure as fuck ain't for filling donuts, tell you that much. People are so dumb, Echo. That's got to be a nickname, right, Cheryl? Delay. That's what they should have named her. Delay. Takes her so dang long. So dumb. I don't know, y'all. I don't do math, but I'd say I have like a 95% success rate with these little angels here. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Dr. W. What if they've already heard the word of the Lord? And they've already been born again, and again, and again, and again. That's why I go to the liberal churches and steal the pamphlets from them. No God-fearing, church-going, card-carrying Christian's going to want to hear about a church with a gay Jesus, y'all. And there's a spiritual movement you can't buy home goods for $6. Because these are free. I steal these. Right, Cheryl? Cheryl's with me sometimes. So checkmate. So if you think you or someone you know may be suffering from jibba jabba disease, my retail remedies include spiritually moving things along by administering the word of the Lord. And you know what? As an extra precaution, why don't we go ahead and throw in some of them mindless breathing exercises that we practiced from earlier, y'all. If you or somebody you know suffers from one of these diseases, you need to get help. Not from me. From somebody else. Like Cheryl. And that has been your checkup with Dr. W, retail therapist. Well, Cheryl, this has been a very enlightening experience, purging and venting about my past and present experiences in retail, y'all. My conscience feels clearer than a Spirit Halloween on November 1st, y'all. That is the day after Halloween, right, Cheryl? But you know what, y'all? Couldn't have done it without Cheryl, who offers me the support of knowing that I can take a very meaningful and dependable PP with me all throughout my journey. So Cheryl, it's time to start that sweet, sweet tummy tapping that I love so dang much, because that's about all the time I've got this week for Wanda's Closet. I guess you could say I had more fun than a Karen at a manager's meeting, y'all. But before we wrap things up, y'all, I have an announcement to make. Attention, Wanda's Closet shoppers, the time is now the end of our episode, and our show will be ending in 15 seconds. Once again, our show will be ending in 15 seconds. At this time, we ask that you begin to finalize your subscriptions and bring them to our front closing registers. For your shopping convenience, our store hours tomorrow are whenever we get here to whenever we leave. And as always, we thank you for shopping at Wanda's Closet. Please stay safe, be kind, and just remember, y'all, I hope one day y'all can park your trailers next to mine. Because I love y'all big. Y'all need to know that. Bye now.